all these Q&As, Tammy.
Okay.
Simple fix for... Okay, so Amanda Stanworth is asking about flat chests on puppies. Can you do this from 5 weeks? Yes, but you're better off doing it sooner. So think of it this way. Puppies have not fully calcified their bones when they're born, and they are a bit squidgy. And that means that they are deformable, and that's why they get a flat chest. Not always, it could be hereditary, but typically the cause of a flat chest is a puppy that is fat, with mum with lots of milk, maybe only a few puppies in the litter, and they get lazy, and they just lay around and walrus around on their chest and never get up on their feet. Those dogs, the sooner you tape their back legs up, the sooner they get up on their feet, the better chance you've got of correcting the problem fast. At 5 weeks, you could probably still get it done, but if you start waiting till 8 weeks, you're probably not going to get it done. So the sooner you start on that, the better off you are. Lionel Romero, I have a male that is a new shade production carrier. So when he says a new shade production carrier, I'm assuming that what he means is that this dog, at the very least, is Big D, Little D. Well, no, it's about Little B, Big B, or Big B, Little B, Big CO, Little CO. Copy of each version of chocolate. She's asking if you bred this to a female fawn, which he doesn't have any DNA on, so we're going to assume this dog does not have blue or chocolate of any form, would you produce any Isabella carriers? Yes, you would get some dogs that carried both versions of, Isabella would be a version of the testable chocolate. So what's the chances that you'd have, let's say you bred a dog that is a blue testable chocolate cocoa carrier, that's a new shade carrier, to a completely non-carrier of any of those. What's the chances that you'd get a carrier that got all three? Well, the answer is it's a half by half by half. So that's 1/8 of the puppies you'd expect to be Little B, Big B, Little CO, Big CO, Little D, Big D. Not a very good answer. Chen Yao, I've been looking for studs for my lilac and tan female. Came across a few lilac and tan Merle studs that are carry KYKY. Does it mean they have a copy of Brindle? No. Is a Brindle a dominant gene? Yes. KYKY is not Brindle. KB or KBR is Brindle. See if somebody did a reply here. And then Susan L said KYKY is not Brindle. Yes, they're right. Exactly right. And so she said, I don't see any reason why KYKY would be undesirable. You're exactly right. KYKY is what you want. And by the way, a dog that shows full, nice, clear tan points doesn't have Brindle. So just looking at that dog, I can tell you, if it's a fawn dog, it doesn't have Brindle. If it's got really nice, clear tan points, it doesn't have Brindle. And it works every time. That's for me.
Yeah. I talked to a woman the other day that she said, yeah, she had a dog that was had a copy of Brindle bred to a stud that had no Brindle, and she said every one of those puppies, I think she said there was 7 of them, they all got Brindle.
Yeah.
You know, so it happens, at least half for sure, but then this was the whole litter.
So when I see that,
that's what happened to a friend of ours too.
Yeah, when I see that, where you've got 7 puppies and you've got a mum that only has 1 copy of Brindle and dad doesn't have any, for example, and I see all 7 puppies have Brindle, I want to have a retest of it. Because the chances of that happening are a half 7 times. So that's a half, a quarter, an eighth, a 16th, a 32, a 64, 1 in 128 times. You'd expect that to happen. It's very unlikely.
It's really easy to have them retest because they've got everything right there.
As soon
as you get it in and you know what the DNA is of your dog and the stud dog, and you question it, call them back, or text
they do get it
back.
wrong. Animal genetics recently has
they're human out there, and I know help's far and few between. So be patient.
Animal genetics is becoming more human than normal. Because they've been doing lots. I've been hearing lots of mistakes. I mean, I don't want to bash on animal genetics.
It's not just animal genetics. Yeah. It's a lot of people. I forget the name of them. What is it?
UC Davis, VetGen. VetGen takes an awful long time. UC Davis takes quite a long time. Family G, hi. Have you dealt with pigmentaria keratitis in a dog's light eyes? I've heard it's common in brachycephalic dogs. Brachycephalic means squish face. There is no mole gene causing it. Thank you. So what I have seen is I have seen dogs that have grown what appears to be regular skin on their eyeball, so they'll have a patch of hair on their eyeball, have run into that. I don't know if that's the same thing, but in those situations you just have it removed, but it does take the right surgeon to have it done.
Oh yeah.
It's not desperately expensive to have it done, but I mean, you want to have this taken care of, because if they've got hairs there, it's going to irritate the heck out of their eye, so they're not going to be a happy camper. That needs to be fixed. Now, I don't know if that's the same thing as pigmentary keratitis, but it sounds like, you know, that is basically a deformation in the cornea or in the sclera where you've got a rough spot, and it probably wants to be removed. You're not going to do that, by the way, until a pup is at least 6 months old.
Yeah.
So this is the same person asking about ocular dermoid in French Bulldog. It's the same thing, I believe.
Take the exit toward Western Avenue.
La France bred. If you sell a puppy without breeding rights, what is the average discount percentage you take off the original price with breeding rights? Let's see. So Sunny L says it depends on the DNA of the puppy you're selling. Well, I'm going to go further than that. You know, sometimes you sell a dog as no breeding rights because it's not good breeding stock, and for that reason, it's not as nice a puppy as some other than litter, and for that reason, it's getting a discount. I think that typically, I think that probably you lose a third of the value, but that's just a thumb. You know, it just varies so much. I mean, you're to a different market here, right? You know, if you sell a dog with full rights, somebody has the intent or possibly may breed that dog. Somebody who's getting a dog without any breeding rights is just going to be a pet for them, which is great. I mean, but there is a difference there. So there is going to be a difference in price. Well, the other part about this as well is that, you know, if you look at your cost, you've already registered the litter, and you've got, and now do you give full rights or not? It's just a question of inking in a little box. That's all it is. So sometimes people know they're not going to breed the dog, but they want a lower price. I mean, that's for you to negotiate, because, you know, yeah. I just started the breeding process. Did we get close? Cool.
3 minutes.
Good. I have 2 Frenchy Bulldogs, a male and a female. I've tied together, but before my male was young and female did not take. He is over a year now, and I'm hoping to get a litter. It's the herd 30. I'm trying to learn some. Well, look, I mean, I'm not sure what the question is here exactly. It's fairly long, so I'm not going to read it because everybody will get bored. But the answer is, I think, if you've got a stud dog who's young, you haven't been used, start practicing with him every week, collect from him, and you will get him online. If you don't do that, and you want him to perform at a year old, and he's never done this before, he's probably not going to do a very good collection for you. So you've got to practice with a stud dog beforehand.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect.
Isn't that right, James?
That's right. Practice makes perfect. I think Tammy's trying to be funny there.
As long as I can make myself laugh, that's a good thing.
Eston Mayer. See, this is going to be the last one. Plan on breeding my Frenchie Bianca for the first time, and it will be the first time I ever experienced French Bulldogs. I'm thinking my biggest concern is during the C-section, where they get rough with the puppies, getting them out and rubbing them with a towel to them. I'm just so scared. I know the veterinarian would treat I would like treat the puppies the way I like. Okay, so, well, look, I mean, so our granddaughter had a baby, our first great grandbaby. What, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
And there was a video of the baby being born. Because of COVID, you can't go in there, so, you know, not that we would anyway. Cause,
We sat out in the parking lot.
We sat out in the parking lot. So we got a video, and here's this puppy coming out, and you can hear this baby.
Two-legged baby.
Two-legged baby, a beautiful baby boy. being smacked and crying, and Tammy's getting all over herself because she's like, I hate it when they do that.
And no, it was constant bam, 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 bam. You know.
Yeah. So the answer here is, I could tell you the vet is what he's going to do is he's going to open up the uterus, he's going to pull the uterus out, he's going to make an incision, he's going to start pulling puppies out, he's handing them off to somebody else. And for us, that's us. We're there, we're participating in the process. Lots of vets aren't going to let you participate. But there is going to have to be some rubbing of these puppies and some generally kind of, you know, roughing them up a little bit, because you've got to get them fluid out of their lungs, which means you've got to basically be patting their backs with their head facing down. And you've got to rub them like crazy. If you don't do that, they don't take a breath. And if they don't take a breath within 10 minutes, they die. Don't worry about it. You know, the whole thing is a miracle, and it's great to be a part of. And don't worry about the roughness part of it. I promise you, you'll be so excited to see your puppies. You will not be worried about that. So, all right, there we go. There's 11 minutes of your day.
Okay, now call me about my 2 babies that I have left. 1 girl, 1 boy. 580-799-1910, and you can also call me about my daughter's little and my babies are fluffy carriers with testable, and then my daughter has fluffy carriers that are platinum that were just born. They're probably about 5 days old now?
Yes, 5 days old. Yeah, good go.
So 580-799-1910. Bye.
Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet, I'm not a licensed medical professional, I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.